Selecting the wrong partner can have devastating consequences. There's no way to soften the truth. Too many men unknowingly walk into this trap, only realizing the weight of their decision when it's far too late. The temptation to settle, whether out of convenience or societal pressure, is a dangerous gamble. Relationships hold immense significance, and committing to someone you don't genuinely desire is a recipe for emotional, mental, and even financial turmoil. Yet countless men continue making this mistake daily. Fear of loneliness, external expectations, or the false hope that affection will grow over time push them into relationships that lack real compatibility. But this isn't just about them. It affects their partners as well, often leading to pain and dissatisfaction for both individuals. This is not simply a matter of attraction or shared interests. It's about building a life alongside someone who genuinely aligns with your values and aspirations. Settling for a relationship that lacks true connection isn't just self-sabotage. It's unfair to the person on the other side too. Imagine finding yourself locked in a commitment that feels suffocating, slowly watching the excitement and passion drain away. It's a quiet misery that far too many endure, but it's entirely avoidable. The stark reality is that love, at least the kind that truly matters, cannot be manufactured. No amount of wishful thinking can transform indifference into deep, lasting affection. And yet people continue to make the same mistake, choosing partners out of complacency rather than genuine desire, believing they'll eventually learn to love them. That illusion never becomes reality. The only way forward is through radical honesty about who you truly want in your life and why. Many men mistake comfort for connection, leading to a future filled with regret. Choosing someone simply because they're present or because the relationship is easy is a short-sighted decision. Comfort in relationships can be deceiving. It creates an illusion of stability while masking the deeper emotional void. At first it feels safe and predictable, but over time, that same sense of ease becomes the very thing that suffocates passion and prevents meaningful growth. The real danger of comfort is that it tricks you into believing that good enough is sufficient. Instead of asking if this person is truly the right match, you convince yourself that stability and familiarity are all that matter. But this path leads straight to resentment and discontent. Take Dave, for instance. He met Sarah, a kind, dependable woman who was easy to be around. But deep down, he wasn't excited about her. The spark was missing. Instead of facing this truth, he told himself that stability mattered more, that being with someone who was good for him was enough. So he stayed. Years passed and reality set in. The boredom and emotional emptiness became unavoidable. He felt trapped in a life that lacked real connection. Sarah sensed it too, an unspoken tension that neither of them could ignore. In the end, both were stuck in a relationship that neither truly wanted. This is the fate that awaits those who choose ease over authenticity. Number one, Dave's biggest regret isn't about Sarah as a person. She's not at fault. His regret stems from ignoring his deeper longing for true connection and choosing familiarity instead. In the end, he comes to understand a hard truth. Comfort without genuine emotional depth is hollow. It leaves both people feeling unseen, unheard, and undervalued, as if they're merely existing beside each other rather than truly being together. The takeaway is clear. Don't confuse comfort for connection. Those who do will find themselves stuck in a relationship built on maintaining harmony rather than experiencing real joy and fulfillment. And that's a path that leads to nothing but lifelong regret. Number two, choosing to settle in a relationship is one of the most damaging decisions a person can make. It's a slow, deliberate act of self-sabotage. When you commit to someone you don't genuinely desire, you're not just preventing heartbreak in the present, you're setting yourself up for long-term emotional and mental exhaustion. Settling is like planting the seed of quiet resentment, a seed that will inevitably grow, suffocating any hope for passion or fulfillment. So why do so many men make this mistake? Fear of being alone, fear of never finding someone better, or fear of change. It's far easier to stay with someone who seems good enough than to confront the uncertainty of seeking something greater. But in reality, clinging to convenience only leads to an existence filled with unspoken frustration. It's trading momentary security for a lifetime of dissatisfaction, a choice that erodes both self-worth and genuine happiness. Take John, for example. He started dating Emily because she was kind and they had fun together, but deep down, he knew something was missing. They didn't share the same vision for the future, but he convinced himself it wasn't important. Over time, the cracks in their connection became impossible to ignore. John felt increasingly suffocated, while Emily sensed the emotional distance between them. Their relationship turned into a cycle of passive-aggressive tension, a dynamic neither of them truly wanted but couldn't bring themselves to break free from. In the end, John realized that settling had cost him more than he ever anticipated. It wasn't just about making compromises, it was about betraying himself. Instead of striving for the kind of connection he truly desired, he had lowered his expectations and paid the emotional price. The hard truth is this: settling is a slow form of self-destruction. It drains your spirit, dims your passion, and leaves you with a life that feels unfulfilled. The only way to break free is to stop sabotaging yourself and start demanding the kind of relationship you truly deserve. Number 3. One of the biggest misconceptions about relationships is the belief that compatibility is simply about getting along. That couldn't be further from the truth. Just because there's no constant conflict and you can enjoy peaceful moments together, doesn't mean you're genuinely compatible. True compatibility runs much deeper. It's built on shared values, mutual understanding, and an aligned vision for the future. But far too many people settle for an illusion of compatibility, mistaking a lack of disagreement for a meaningful connection. The truth is, with enough effort, you can get along with almost anyone. You can compromise, adjust, and smooth over differences to make things appear harmonious. But that doesn't mean the foundation is solid. It's easy to convince yourself that because there are no major arguments, the relationship must be right. But true connection isn't just about avoiding conflict. It's about feeling deeply seen and understood. A relationship where you constantly reshape yourself just to maintain peace isn't built on real compatibility. It's built on pretense. You might be bending to fit into a mold that keeps things running smoothly, but that's not sustainable. Over time, cracks will appear. The unspoken frustrations will grow, and you'll find yourself questioning why, despite everything seeming fine, you still feel unfulfilled. That's because real compatibility isn't about forcing things to work. It's about naturally fitting together in a way that feels effortless. This false sense of compatibility often stems from a fear of disrupting the status quo. You get comfortable with someone and don't want to shake things up, so you push aside the nagging feeling that something isn't quite right. You tell yourself that peace is better than uncertainty, but pretending to be someone you're not just to maintain that illusion will only lead to resentment. You'll begin to feel like a stranger in your own relationship, unable to pinpoint why things feel off, even when, on the surface, everything seems fine. In the end, false compatibility isn't about genuine happiness, it's about avoidance. Avoiding difficult conversations, avoiding self-reflection, and avoiding the hard truth that just getting along isn't enough to build something truly fulfilling. Real compatibility comes from a raw, unfiltered connection. And if that's missing, no amount of forced harmony will ever be enough to fill the void. Number 4, many men don't enter relationships because they've found the right person. They do it out of fear of being alone. The reality is, loneliness can be harsh, and it's tempting to believe that being with someone, anyone, is better than facing it alone. But when loneliness dictates your choices, you're almost guaranteed to end up with the wrong person, and that decision comes with serious consequences. Too often, men underestimate the damage that comes from forcing themselves into relationships just to fill an emotional void. When the fear of solitude clouds your judgment, you settle for someone who is simply good enough rather than someone who truly aligns with your values and desires. It feels safer in the moment, but over time, this approach leads to dissatisfaction, frustration, and a deeper sense of isolation. The harsh truth? Many men refuse to confront their real issue, their inability to be alone. Instead of working on themselves, they jump into relationships, hoping they'll magically feel complete. But no partner can fix what's missing within you. Using a relationship as a distraction is a form of self-deception, like patching a sinking boat with tape. It might hold temporarily, but eventually everything falls apart. If you're not content with yourself, no relationship will make you happy. Choosing a partner just to avoid loneliness is an exhausting and self-defeating cycle. Your partner will sense it, even if she can't pinpoint why. The lack of authentic connection lingers beneath the surface, making the relationship feel hollow. And no matter how much you try to ignore it, deep down, you'll always know you're just running from yourself. The price of avoiding loneliness is steep. It wastes your time, drains your energy, and leaves you feeling even emptier than before. Men need to stop treating relationships as a way to escape their insecurities. Instead, they should embrace solitude, work on becoming their best selves, and only pursue relationships that genuinely align with who they are and what they truly want. Number 5. Many believe emotional cheating only happens when someone is secretly texting or flirting behind their partner's back. But in reality, it begins the moment you commit to a relationship where your heart isn't fully present. Staying physically faithful doesn't mean you're being true. If your mind constantly drifts elsewhere, whether fantasizing about someone new or longing for freedom, you're already betraying both yourself and your partner. Women have an innate ability to sense emotional distance. You might think you're concealing your detachment, but she knows. She feels the absence, the half-hearted presence, the lack of genuine connection. And while this kind of disconnection doesn't make you a bad person, it does mean you're not being honest. Holding on to a relationship where you aren't fully engaged robs her of the chance to be with someone who truly values and desires her. A relationship built on pretense is a ticking time bomb. Many men convince themselves that staying is better than being alone. But the truth is, emotional detachment is exhausting. It drains your energy, chips away at your integrity, and keeps you stuck in something unsustainable. If you're not all in, you owe it to both of you to walk away. Otherwise, you're just delaying the inevitable, wasting time that neither of you can get back. At its core, emotional cheating is a symptom of ignoring your true desires. A connection built on denial will always crumble. If you're not fully invested, you're not just hurting her, you're also betraying yourself. Have the courage to face the truth, to step away from what no longer serves you, and to seek something real. Because if you're with someone you don't truly want, the betrayal has already begun.